If you are joining me for the first time, I am Yashika, Coach Yashika, and I am your dating one-on-one coach. And thank you so much for joining me. So I am streaming in a couple of places today. And so, yeah, so we're going to get right into it. So today we are talking about love languages. All right. And so, so I know many of you out there in the world have read the 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. And now this book has been around for probably about 20 years. And so since then, he has written many books to include one of them that I've read, The 5 Languages of Apology, which is a really good book because it really teaches you how to apologize to people. And just like the 5 love languages, you know, sometimes people don't really hear you when you say, I'm sorry, just verbally saying it. They need to be told a different way. And so that book also allows you to express it in a different way. So today we're talking about the 5 love languages. And do you really know your love languages or your partner's love language? So today, the 5 languages. Number 1, words of affirmation. Okay. Now, this is the reason why we need to talk about this. In order for you to really know how to express your love to somebody or for someone to express their love to you, they have to know how to love you. They have to know what really floats your boat, how to get next to you, how to understand you. Okay. So part of knowing yourself is knowing how to allow someone to love you, how to get someone to understand you. Right. So knowing your love language. So for you, if your words of affirmation is how a person gets next to you or love you, then you need to know that. So for the words of affirmation, this is like showing a person shows you this, saying things to you. So for example, let's see, like they don't even have to say like a word to you. It could be something that they write on a card, right? They don't have to necessarily say, I love you. That could be a word of affirmation. However, some people like it to be like a handwritten note, right? Or you guys remember when you were kids and your mom fixed you a lunch, and when they fixed you a little lunch, they would put like a little note in your lunchbox so that you could read it, you know, when you went to school in the day. So when you open your lunch, it'll be like a little motivation in the middle of the day or whatever, right? That would, for little kids, they wanted to see that from their mom. So for them, that might be what made them, you know, be motivated for the rest of the day. So for some people, those type of things are what they need from their partner, those type of words of affirmation. And again, it doesn't always have to be verbal. It could be a written note, or it could be encouragement, or it could be noticing things that other people don't notice. So for example, you know, women like to change their hair color, right? If your partner notices that your hair color is different, you know, complimenting them on that, or noticing that their hair is different, or that they've changed their hair, right? Showing those things, or if they weren't feeling good, you know, picking up the phone and say, hey, honey, how are you feeling? Is your stomach better, or something like that? Those are words of affirmation, right? It doesn't always have to be I love you or I care about you or anything like that. It could be those small things, or those things that show that you care, or notice the things that other people don't notice. All right. That's number 1, words of affirmation. Okay. Number 2, quality time. You guys know that since we have went to smartphones, quality time is becoming like dinosaurs. It's becoming extinct because people are picking up the phone, and, you know, you go to dinner or to a movie, or not necessarily a movie, but to dinner nowadays, and people are on their cell phones all day long. So quality time is becoming extinct nowadays. All right. But in a relationship, you know that this is important. And to some people, this is more important, especially if that is their love language. Quality time is important. So when you have a partner that they feel love or feel a connection through quality time, you need to make it a priority to show that person through quality time that you're there for them. So if you need to, make the adjustment. If this means you getting up a little bit extra early, so say, for example, that person has to be at work a little bit before you. So you say, okay, I'm gonna sleep in, and you get off work later than them. You might need to get up a little bit earlier with your partner in order to spend that extra quality time with them. Or maybe you could take your lunch break from work if you work within distance of each other, and maybe go take lunch with them or something like that. It doesn't have to be every day, but maybe some days or whatever. But take the time to make sure that you spend that time with that person so that you can get in that QT time, especially in the age of cell phones and social media and all that kind of stuff. Make it a point to do that. because I tell you, many relationships have failed because of lack of quality time. You know, people are sitting around watching TV. They're doing the whole, you know, watching, you know, what is it? The whole episodes on TV. They're doing, you know, TV shows, and they got like 10 doggone seasons to it. They're watching all of it, and then they're doing it. One person is in one room watching one thing, and then the other person is in another room watching something else. Quality time is important, right? Even if that's not your love language, I believe quality time is important, but that's just my little tidbit or whatever. But quality time is important. So if your partner's love language is quality time, make sure that you're spending that time with them. And if that's something that's kind of hard because of kids or working schedules, then make it a point to schedule quality time. Make sure you schedule quality time. All right. Number 3, physical touch. Now, you guys know physical touch is not always sexual. Physical touch can be, you know, a rubbing of the shoulder, or, you know, putting your leg on that other person, or giving them a hug, or giving them a kiss, or something like that, right? Some people express their love that way. Matter of fact, I think my love language is physical touch. Now, I won't confirm or deny whether or not it's necessarily sex, but I do know that my love language is physical touch. Okay, I'm just gonna say that, all right? And I won't confirm or deny which one it is, all right? But I've taken the test at different points of my life, and each time that I've taken it, physical touch was always my number one. I'm just gonna say that, all right? So physical touch. So again, it does not always necessarily mean that it's sex. It can be something as much as a hug, a kiss, you know, a caress, or something like that. If you know that your partner enjoys that, then make sure you do that. And so men, specifically, I'm talking to men, right? Men, it doesn't always mean sex. Women like physical touch, and it's not always sex. They want to be hugged. They want to be caressed. They want to be, you know, kissed on. They want to be snuggled with. They want to be all those things. And men like those things too. All right. Sometimes their physical touch is that, right? All right. That's physical touch. Number 4, acts of service. Now, for the acts of service, you have to really pay attention to the small things when it comes to your partner, okay? Because this thing could be, when it comes to acts of service, this can be something, you have to pay attention to the small details. So, for example, if you're out and about and your partner calls and say, okay, hey, pick me something up to eat, and you order, let's say, a hamburger for your partner, pay attention whether or not your partner likes onions on their burger. All right. If you bring them a burger home and it has onions on it, then it's like you're not paying attention. So acts of service also means paying attention to the big things and the small things as well. All right. That's like you're noticing what he or she likes and what they don't like. Okay. So acts of service means everything, or doing something kindly for them so that they don't have to. Right. This isn't just about cleaning up the house or anything like that. This is about the big things and the small things. All right. And not only that, but utilize your strength when it comes to the acts of service. So if you have a partner, so for example, if you have a partner that's not good at budgeting, for, you know, budgeting the money or whatever, maybe that's your strength. You're the person that handles the budget in the home or pay the bills in the home, right? So you need to make sure that you utilize your strength. So for that person, that's like, okay, you know what? That person gets me. That person understands me. All right. So when it comes to acts of service, it means a lot of things, just not you doing something kind for that person. It means you're paying attention to the big things, the little things, and paying attention to the details. Okay. And the 5th thing, receiving of gifts. Now, this one right here is like one of the ones that is like the most misunderstood, because when a person thinks that a person's love language is around gifts, what they don't realize is that it's not necessarily about something that's extravagant. It's something that has more of a sentimental value behind it. Okay. Now, granted, I'm not saying that everybody, you know, that there's not people in the world that wants gifts that is extravagance, because that's not the case, right? There are some people that just want extravagant gifts, but for the most part, when a person genuinely has a love language that is receiving of gifts, this person have a sentimental value around gifts. So it can be something as small as a little trinket, or as big as a darn house or car, right? What it does is the sentimental value is around it. So when you give them something, every time they look at that thing, they think of you, or they think of an occasion, or they think of a situation or whatever, and it makes them smile. Okay. Prime example, I remember when I was, you know, in a previous relationship, my previous life, right? And My daughter used to always say to me that, what do you buy a person to have everything? And I used to have to explain to her, it's not about what you spend on me, because I don't expect anyone to go out and buy me the same things that I buy myself, especially a young person, right? Especially a kid. You know, if you went to the store and bought me a pair of pajamas from Walmart, right? I'm going to wear those pajamas and I'm going to be happy every time I put them on, and they cost $15, $20 because of the fact that you actually went to the store and thought enough about me to even buy me a pair of pajamas. And that's what it's all about. You thought about me. You actually took the time out to think about me. And oh yeah, by the way, you actually bought something with pink in it, right? You really thought about me if you took the time out to buy me pajamas that had pink in it, because everybody that knows me know I like pink, right? So that's what it's about. It's not about something extravagant. They didn't have to be Cartier pajamas or Versace pajamas. They could have been Walmart pajamas, but because they had like this little pink ribbon on it or this little pink, heart on it, I was over the moon about it because she thought about me. Okay, so when it comes to receiving gifts, again, this one is the most misunderstood, and it's not about the extravagance of the gift. It's about the sentimental value behind it. So the reason why you need to know your love language is important is because of this. In order to really understand who you are in a relationship and what you're looking for, you have to know that about yourself. Now, one thing about it, and this is something that the Dr. Chapman talks about in the book, is that when you have a partner that has the same love language as you, sometimes that's almost like oil and water. It doesn't really mix, okay? Because if you are a person that, let's say you like gifts and I like gifts, right? And let's say that, it's a Monday and I buy you a gift, then I'm going to automatically assume that you knew to buy me a gift on a Monday. Okay. So it doesn't work. But if I'm a person that you like gifts and I like, I don't know, acts of service, and I buy you a gift and you're head over heels about it, and then you go off and you do some amazing things for me just because, or you order my sandwich without any onions on it, we're gonna be better accommodating of each other. We're gonna get along better that way. So it's best to find someone that has a different set of love languages than you do, because you'll get along better that way. Okay. But you have to know this about yourself, because if you know this about yourself, then you can better communicate to your partner what you like, what you don't like, what you desire, what you don't desire. Because I think one of the misunderstandings that we have about life is that people automatically know how to treat us in a relationship. And so something that we have to remember is that not everybody was raised the same. Not everybody understands the same thing. Not everybody's going to do things the same. What we deem, one person should do, that person look at it and say, hey, that's not what I do in a relationship. So if that person has a better understanding about what you like, what you don't like, what you want in a relationship, what you don't want in a relationship, and they find this out through your love language, then they have a better way of loving you. They have a better way of understanding you. They have a better way of meshing with you. You understand what I'm saying? If that makes sense. But anyway, I wanted to come on today and talk about the love language, because I think that this is very, very, very important. And also, if you've taken the love language test at one point in your life, I think that you should take it again. And the reason being is because sometimes as we mature, I won't say get older, I'm going to say mature, our wants and our needs and our desires change, right? So things that maybe we desire or wanted from a partner when we were younger may have changed as we mature. So you can totally Google the 5 love languages, and the assessment test is free. You don't have to, I think you have to give up an email or something like that. But I think that you should take the test. So if you listen to this broadcast and you have not taken the love language test in a while, then I encourage you to do so, especially if you're out here in these dating streets and you trying to find your partner. So that way you have a better understanding of what you're looking for in a partner, right? And try to find you somebody that's love language is different than yours. Okay, then I appreciate you guys for watching this viewing tonight, and I am signing off. This is Coach Yashika. Discussions on Facebook. You can check me out on YouTube as well as IG as Coach Yashika, or on The Art of Dating and Facebook as well, and also on YouTube. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next live. Bye.